Numicon doesn't just have to be used for number work, it can also be used to support understanding in other areas of maths, for instance geometry and shape transformation. So for example, you might have your Numicon arranged like this. Now the odd numbers work much better for shape transformation than the even numbers, particularly when you're rotating shapes as I've done here. So you might present the children with something like this and ask them to explore what's happened to the Numicon for it to end up in each position. So here you might be looking for children to talk about this Numicon turning, making a quarter turn to the right, or possibly rotating 90 degrees clockwise, and so on. Now something, particularly in rotation, that children can find quite difficult in upper key stage 2 is rotating about a point. Now because Numicon has got the holes, this concept is quite easy to show for the children to learn kinesthetically using the Numicon. So if I put A inside here, a typical question might be that you need to rotate this shape 90 degrees clockwise about point A. Now because you can put your finger in, what this means is that you can show that the point A stays fixed and the shape rotates with that point fixed in there, so it rotates about that point. So 90 degrees clockwise, I'm turning it this way and my point A, my finger has stayed in place and this is the position it ends up in. So it's fantastic for rotation. Similarly with reflection, you might have a mirror line sketched out. Apologies, it's not very straight. And you might show what happens when you reflect a shape in the mirror line. So you could place the same exact shape on top and show the reflection, or you could actually just manipulate and move this one to show the final position after the shape's been reflected. You might also think about using positional language as well, so you could have the number of shapes spread out, and perhaps on a grid the children need to work out exactly where the reflected shapes would go. So in this instance my shape would have to be turned around that way, and this would be approximately here. Okay. Similarly for shape translation, you'd need to do this on a grid really, but if you had to describe what's happened to this shape for it to end up over here, you might describe how many places it's been moved across to the right and how many places it's been moved up. So the children are physically translating the shapes before they move on to grid work using a ruler and using a pencil.